My next guest became well known for his role on Remington Steele for 5 seasons. He has a new movie, Lawnmower Man, by Stephen King, that went to #1 at the box office. Please welcome Pierce Brosnan. And a happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
Yes, and to yourself there.
That's right, you're a real Irishman. You get the potato I left in your dressing room there?
I got the potatoes and the poutine.
Huh?
And the poutine.
Oh, yeah, there you are.
Yeah.
There you are. And you were born in Ireland, grew up there, right?
Born and bred, yeah, in County Meath, little place called Navan.
You get back very often?
Not really, no. I have a few horses over there, race horses, and which I got into a few years back. It's a silly game, but I haven't lost any money and haven't made any money. But
and you're ahead of the game. You're way ahead of the game.
But no, I'm going to go back there at the end of the year, I think, God willing.
Well, you've got to feed the horses sooner or later.
Exactly.
Now, with St. Patrick's Day, I mean, and, you know, you go to New York or my hometown of Boston, people just go crazy. Is it just crazy over there at St. Patrick's Day?
Well, I can't really remember actually that much because when I was there till the age of 11, I left when I was a boy, and I don't really remember it that much. I remember my grandmother sticking this great big wet sod of shamrock on my chest, you know, and you go out and it's all dripping all over the place.
A wet sod of shamrock?
Yeah, you know, the shamrock, the little
yeah,
shamrock, of course.
Oh, I see.
You know. But it's not really as wild as, you know, New York.
But then again, everybody would be Irish on St. Patrick's Day in Ireland, so it's not really that.
Well, this is true, actually. This is very true, you know. They may not know it, but it's very true.
You don't have to pretend. I mean, every day is the same.
Exactly.
Let me ask you about the hit movie, Lawnmower Man. This is like, it's doing amazing.
Yeah, very, very, I'm really happy, actually, for all concerned, for, you know, Jeff Fahey, who plays the Lawnmower Man, and Brett Leonard, this wonderful young director, and his wife. They produced it, Brett Leonard and Jamil Everett. And, I mean, they just took this kind of short story by Stephen King, which was only 7 pages long, and had nothing to do with virtual reality. And they took this short story by Mr. King, and they wrapped it in this, you know, this film about virtual reality.
Now, this virtual reality, see this, I haven't had a chance to see the picture yet, so, but I've heard about this virtual reality. It's like a game where you're in it.
Right. Yeah, it's like a computer. You get in, you can enter inside the computer. You put this, they do exist.
Like these goggles on, and you're actually in the game.
Yeah, you put the goggles on, and then you have a joystick, and you put your hand up, and you can see your hand inside the computer. And if you turn your head,
you see what's...
You can see around you, up and below, and you play this with a partner.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Wouldn't sex be just a little easier? Gosh, it seems so complicated. Now, we have a clip here from it.
Okay.
Does this need... Is this...
Great. I have no idea what the clip is. You'll probably see me very briefly.
All right, let's take a look. This is from Lawnmower Man.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, even with the treatment stopped, your abilities continue to change and grow. I speculated that if psychic powers existed, I mean, this research would be the key to unlocking them, but this is beyond anything I ever expected. I mean, like the accelerated learning. I mean, the results are completely unexpected. Completely. Okay, well, don't worry, Gerald. I'll sort something out.
Thank you. That's the first clip that they've ever shown of me, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes, well, usually, I mean, there's a lot of computer graphics in the film, which are really kind of, they do come at you. And, you know, Jeff Fahey, who you just saw there in the clip, you know, he and I, we made this film together, and, you know, we'd look at each other and just say, well, I hope they get it right, you know, because there was so much other stuff.
Is this one of those deals where you stand there and they say, okay, just imagine there's a monster, a computer, or something behind you, and you sort of act into space?
A little bit. Just not too much of it, not too much of the blue screen, but, you know, it came out really handsomely, and it's doing well.
Well, that's terrific.
You know, which is
Well, it's nice to see you have a big hit. I know this has been a very tough year for you, boy.
It's well, the end of last year was a hard time, you know, because I lost my wife, Cassie. And Cassie put up an incredible battle with cancer, ovarian cancer. You know, and I was promoting this film there the other week in New York, and I said to my publicist, look, I'm not going to talk about Cassie's illness and her dying, but it was, you know, it's so hard not to, because she was so much part of my life, and, you know, I'm the man I am, the father I am, and the actor I am because of this wonderful woman. But, yeah, I lost her.
You know, I think it's nice to talk about. You know, I mean, in a town where people change partners, and, you know, all these kind of things go on all the time in marriage. You know, silver anniversary is 3 years and all this kind of nonsense. I mean, the wonderful relationship you guys had is really sort of a testament.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's
thank
great.
you.
I know you're staying in town now. You're going to do a show so you can be with your kids.
I'm going to do a show, yeah, because I got 3 children. I'm going to go back to, I'm going to come back home to NBC, as it were.
Okay.
I'm going to, well, we'll see. I'm going to do a show. It's called Running Wild, and it's a fine piece of material. Half-hour show on film, on location. It's
half hour. That's interesting.
It's a half hour, you know. And I stuck my toe in the water there about 18 months ago, and I began to investigate it. You know, when Cassie was ill there, and I just thought, just to have a regular life, you know, the movies, you know, they can wait, as it were.
Well, how are the kids doing now?
The kids are doing really well.
Are they going to follow in your footsteps, you think?
Yeah, well, Charlotte wants to be an actress. She's back in London. Yeah, she's back in London. She's going to go to RADA, I think, at the end of the year. And Christopher, who's just behind the curtain here, wants to act, produce, direct, write. Basically doesn't know what he wants to do, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And,
hey, pick one. Hey.
Pick one. Just pick one. And, but we're doing well. You know.
I was going through some, you know, they give you a bunch of things, Old People magazines and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, you were once a fire eater, is this true?
Yeah, for a brief moment.
You know, there's some rough gigs, but boy, this...
Yeah.
And that first day has got to be bad.
I did it once. This was a long time ago. I used to have a company in England called Theatre Spiel, and we did street theatre and clowning, and we did work in Amsterdam. And I met this fellow one day, and he taught me how to fire eat. So I said, sure, you know, I'll do it. And I went out there and drank the old paraffin, what you call kerosene here, and just blew it and...
Now, you see, if someone said to me, let me teach you how to fire eat, I would say, no, I don't want to learn how to fire eat.
Yeah. It's very simple.
I mean, just the idea that, sure, anything to avoid decent work. You just take fire eating. I mean, if someone said, here, dig a hole for $4 an hour, or you can fire eat. All right, I'll fire eat.
Yeah.
So you swallow kerosene?
You swallow kerosene, yeah.
But doesn't your...
Well, we don't swallow it. You just put it in
no.
your mouth, and then you hold the flame here, and you get this spray. And that's simple. It's when you put the little...
Don't try this at home, please.
No, please don't do that. No, it's when you put the little sucker in your mouth. That's when it gets a little...
Yeah, now, I know, having siphoned gas from other cars in the NBC parking lot, this is not a pleasant taste.
No, it's not a pleasant... No, I did come unglued once, actually. I was at a friend's party, and there was a few... The beer was going around, and I said I'd do this for his birthday party, but I had a few too many. I bent the elbow too many times, and I just forgot to bend the head, and I put this thing in my mouth and burned the top of my mouth.
Oh, God, yeah, and I imagine hiccuping could be fatal.
Hiccuping, yeah. So, anyway, I don't do that anymore, no.
And you're off to Slovenia to do a movie.
Off to Slovenia, yeah, to do a movie called, it's a snappy little title. It's called Death Train.
Death Train. Where is Slovenia?
Slovenia is actually the top of Yugoslavia.
Oh, okay.
You know, only an Irishman could go to a town which has got civil war going on. But, you know...
a bit like home.
Yeah, it's a bit like home, a bit like the old town, but I'm going to go off and do that. It's an Alistair MacLean, it's an action-adventure, you know, the plutonium's on the train, and the train's going towards Berlin, and they call in someone to save the day.
Well, terrific. I'm glad you're coming here to NBC, so I'll see a lot more of you. And I'm glad your movie's a hit.
Thanks very much, Jay. Thank you.
Pierce Brosnan. Right back.